Part 1. The Age of Freedom. We live in a time dreamed of by generations before us. Choices are everywhere. What to wear, what to eat, who to love, what to believe in, who to be. You are not limited. You are free. But then why is there anxiety inside? Why is it that every year more and more people are lost, broken, frozen? Why is it that the freedom we've been given become a burden? You look at the shelves, the endless tapes, the advice, the recommendations, the lives of others, and you can't choose. Because every choice is fear. Fear of being wrong. Fear of missing out on the best. Fear of taking the wrong one and regretting it. We've been given everything, and with it, they took away our peace. Part 2. Freezing point. The more options you have, the more afraid you are to choose. Paradoxically, when you have one path, you go. When you have two, you hesitate. And when you have 100, you freeze. You spend more time not living, but on doubt. You think more than you do, more comparing than feeling. Every door you open means 100 others you haven't chosen. And those unchosen lives start to press in, whispering, "You could have been happier. You chose wrong. You lost your chance." And even if you've made the right choice, you're no longer sure, because choice isn't freedom, it's responsibility. And in this world, responsibility is the scariest of all. Part 3. The illusion of control. We want to believe that choices make us stronger, that by controlling our lives, we become masters of our destiny. But the truth is different. Control is an illusion. You don't control the flow. You're just floating between options that weren't created by you. You don't choose what to choose from. You're just clicking between professions, between faces, between the meanings that have been offered to you. And in this illusion of control, you become a slave to choice. Every yes becomes a no to 100 other roads. And with every no, it's like you lose a piece of yourself, a piece of the possible you, of who you could be. Freedom of choice becomes freedom of doubt, and doubt slowly turns into despair. Part 4. Eternal scarcity. You've chosen, but you don't feel relief. On the contrary, you feel a sense of loss, as if somewhere there was something better, as if your choice wasn't a maxim, but a compromise. Always. It's what psychologists call missed opportunity syndrome. But in reality, it's not a syndrome. It's a state of modern consciousness. You look at other people, and there's always someone whose choices are brighter, smarter, more successful. Comparison becomes poison. And the more choices you make, the more you don't feel fulfilled. Because completeness is impossible. Because there is always more. And that more becomes your torture. You ate, but you stayed hungry. You lived, but you didn't feel alive. Part 5. Freedom that kills. In the past, man has been constrained by religion, by society, by family, fate. He knew his place. He suffered, but his suffering had form. Now suffering is scattered to dust. You are your own God, your own judge, your own executioner. You are free. But that freedom is like an open ocean. No shore, no map. You don't swim forward, you sink. There are too many directions, and none of them feel right. Because you don't feel the anchor. You don't feel that anything is yours. You wanted freedom. You got anxiety. You got pain for no reason. And pain without a way out. Part 6. Escape from choice. When choices become torture, we look for someone to make it for us. We go back to other people's opinions, to authority figures, to trends, parents, ideologies, algorithms. Let someone else say, "That's the right thing to do." It's easier that way. You shift the responsibility, and you feel temporarily relieved. But with it, you lose yourself. You no longer know what you want. You only know that you don't want to choose. That's how the inner vacuum is created. You're alive, but the choices are not yours. Life is not yours. Dreams are not yours. You're living someone else's life just so you don't make mistakes, just so you don't feel guilty. And that's not freedom anymore. It's a new form of slavery, subtle, but much deeper than the old one. Part 7. Silence amidst the noise. When everything screams, the world, advertising, people, advice, the only way to hear yourself is silence. But we are afraid of it. Silence is a mirror. In it, you are alone with the one who chooses, with yourself. What if you're empty? What if you don't know what you want and you never have? We've surrounded ourselves with noise so we can't hear the echo of our own uncertainty. But without that silence, there is no freedom. There are no real choices. There are only reactions. Silence is not comfort. It is pain. But in that pain, something rare is born. Not certainty. It's honesty. Sometimes to realize what you want, you have to stop wanting everything first. Part 8. The price of freedom. Choice is not a good thing. It does not make us happy. It makes us responsible. And happiness doesn't always carry responsibility. Freedom isn't a field you run across. It's a precipice over which you stand, with no one to tell you where to jump. More choice doesn't mean more meaning. Sometimes it's the opposite. The more options there are, the less you believe in them. And if you don't know who you are, no amount of freedom can save you. It will only hasten the collapse. The paradox is, we don't need a choice. We need an inner compass. And you can't buy that. You can't download it. No choice. And while you're searching for the best option, life passes, slowly, endlessly, meaningless. Sometimes the only way to freedom is to accept limits and realize you don't have to have everything. You have to have your own.